Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
Police are still searching for the man they say is involved in a shooting in Dilworth this morning. It happened in the 200 block of 5th Street Northwest. Dilworth Police Chief Ty Sharp says 37-year-old Dennis Hackley took off northbound from the scene, and they haven't found him yet. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley was on scene throughout the day and has our story.
Despite two separate tips of possible Dennis Hackley sightings Thursday afternoon, investigators came out empty-handed.
We had a call of 3 to 5 shots fired. We found 5 shell casings and 5 projectiles.
37-year-old Christopher Lucier was found inside this apartment with a gunshot wound to the leg. However, police say they're not sure which of the two men is the suspect and which is the victim, saying they have yet to hear the full details of the altercation from either side.
You know, I believe it started on the second, went up to the third, and came all the way down. So it's all on one side of the stairwell.
Neighbors in the area didn't want to speak with me on camera due to safety concerns, but say this part of town has been going downhill over the last few years, saying even though police say this is an isolated incident with no threat to the public, it's too close to home not to be concerned. In Dilworth, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Officials say Lucier was taken to Sanford this morning where he had surgery on his right leg. His condition has not been released. One man is now in jail after an investigation led to a drug bust in North Fargo. Authorities served a search warrant at 743 Oak Street North. They found 234 hits of LSD, THC vape cartridges, a rifle, and $3,000 in cash, among other things. 29-year-old Jacob Wyszynski was arrested for possession with intent to manufacture or deliver LSD, possession of marijuana wax, and possession of marijuana. We're learning more today about what happened after a woman was arrested at a South Fargo apartment building. Court documents say officers were called to the 1300 block of 32nd Street South just after noon yesterday. They were responding to a woman who broke into an apartment through a window. When officers arrived, they noticed smoke coming out of that broken window. Police later located Nyamal Kochlik in the building's laundry room. They say she had plugged the sink and flooded the floor. It took 5 officers to arrest her because they say she was kicking and spitting at them. She will be in court tomorrow. It looks like we've got a chilly night ahead of us. Let's find out more from Hutch in our First Alert forecast. Hey, Hutch.
What a beautiful sunset out there at the Dakota Magic Casino right now. Temperatures are cooling off rapidly in the Northern Valley and in the Devil's Lake Basin. Teens already, some single digits already up in that area. We do have exiting clouds with snow exiting southeasternmost Minnesota into western portions of Wisconsin for tonight. It looks like a quiet night here with temperatures chilly in the teens, decreasing wind eventually. By bedtime tonight, we'll be in the mid-teens here, and up north in Grand Forks, it'll be in the lower teens by bedtime. How low will we go? Well, single digits for some of us overnight are likely. I'll have details on all of that, and we'll talk about some milder weather in the outlook. Also, as we glide toward our weekend ahead. Andrea, I'll have all of that here in just a moment.
All right, thanks, Hutch. 2 men are now facing charges after their vehicles crashed, and police say drugs and alcohol were involved. The crash happened in Fargo last night in the 500 block of 10th Street South. 28-year-old Joe Swegarden faces a DUI charge. He's accused of driving into the back of a vehicle and then into a tree. His blood alcohol level was .235. Police say 36-year-old Luke Gunderson was driving the other vehicle. He was arrested for meth and having an open warrant. Authorities say 68-year-old Raymond Payne from Dickinson has now been found safe. Authorities sent out a silver alert this afternoon. Payne had been missing since around noon yesterday. A little more than an hour ago, officers confirmed with Valley News Live that Raymond was found in Cass County. This is the second time recently that Payne has gone missing. A traffic stop in West Fargo this afternoon led to 5 people being detained. The Highway Patrol says they made a traffic stop around 12:30. The trooper smelled marijuana when he approached the vehicle, noticed 5 people inside, and called for backup. Authorities found a small amount of marijuana in the car. The Minnesota State Patrol has released the names of 2 people killed in a head-on crash in Clay County. 45-year-old Nathan Thompson of Ada and 49-year-old Tamara Green of Halstead. The crash happened last night on Highway 75 near Georgetown, which is about 15 miles north of Moorhead. Authorities say Thompson's pickup crossed the center line and hit Green's SUV. A passenger in the SUV, 74-year-old Joanne Johnson of Neillsville, Minnesota, was hurt. We're told her injuries are not life-threatening. Several companies are in the running to develop a COVID-19 vaccine. Meg Terrell tells us how a vaccine would work.
When your body fights off a virus, it makes antibodies that act like soldiers. They learn what the enemy looks like so they can fight it again successfully in the future. Vaccines help us do that, training our immune soldiers to be ready in the war against COVID.
The goal of a vaccine is to induce the immune response that's a consequence of natural infection without making people pay the price of natural infection.
The vaccine does the work. This week, the first evidence, the one from Pfizer and its partner BioNTech, is working. It's one of 3 different approaches scientists are taking in the U.S. Dr. Paul Offit says they all have the same goal: show the immune system part of the coronavirus, so before you get sick, your body can make the protective antibodies.
We know the protein of the virus that we're interested in. It's that spike protein, the protein that sits on the surface of the virus that allows the virus to attach to cells. If you can prevent the virus from attaching to cells, then you can prevent the virus from infecting cells, from infecting you.
Vaccines from Moderna, Pfizer, and others do this by delivering a piece of genetic material called messenger RNA. It tells our cells to make that spike protein, to which we then develop antibodies. Other vaccines from AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson also employ a new approach, using a different, harmless virus to deliver the gene telling our cells to make that protein.
Again, you make the coronavirus spike protein, then you make antibodies to the coronavirus spike protein. That's the way those systems work.
The third is a familiar technology being used by Sanofi, GlaxoSmithKline, and Novavax. In this approach, the spike protein itself is delivered, skipping the step requiring our cells to make it.
It's the way that we make the human papillomavirus vaccine. It's the way we make the hepatitis B vaccine. It's the way we make one of the flu vaccines.
Offit says each approach may have benefits and drawbacks. For instance, one might work better for older or high-risk people, but we don't know yet, and we won't know until the 3rd phase of trials is complete for all of them.
The proof is in the pudding. The pudding is these phase 3 trials. Which among these vaccines will be the best last vaccine? We'll find out.
North Dakota health experts are reporting another high round of COVID-19 cases in the state, with more than 400 new cases in Cass County. This is the highest positive case count reported so far in Cass County. There are more than 1,800 new cases in the state and 11 new deaths reported, bringing the state total to 697. The full numbers can be found on our VNL News app and on the bottom of your screen. A downtown Fargo restaurant and bar is getting some national attention this week. Pounds along First Avenue North will be on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Guy Fieri tomorrow. The episode will be on the Food Network at 8 p.m. The restaurant posted on Facebook saying the experience was incredible and they can't wait to see the episode. Up next, a major automaker unveils another electric vehicle, and this one comes at a key time during the pandemic.
Less than balmy high temperatures today, in the teens for some in the Devil's Lake Basin. We had a few flakes of snow in that area as well to begin the day. This is a look at our home of economy camera in Grand Forks. Warmer weather on the way. I'll have details coming up right after this.